To live a valuable life is a gift on its own. Greetings, this is Ilona, your TV host from Ilona TV, and today we're so privileged to find this special person who is the leader of our community, who is a leader here, who is trying to do something special. And I'm so privileged, so blessed to have with us Mr. Charlie. How are you today, Mr. Charlie?
Good day, Ilona. Good to see you.
It's such a privilege to actually, have you in my studio, to talk to you, to sit with you, because when I met you, I know you're such a busy person, right? You do so many things for the community, and when I'm like, I have to have him. I have to talk to him. I have to connect his story to the story with the listeners as well, who is sitting at home right now and thinking, am I good enough?
Yeah.
Am I worthy? Why am I not achieving my dreams out there? So Mr. Charles, please let us know, what is your life motto? What life had taught you?
Basically that you got to do what you got to do. If you get a health problem, they say you got to do this treatment, you do it. If it keeps you going, I was told, my mother told me when I was young that the doctors told me I wouldn't live 24 hours. Well, so far I've got 59 years on that, so I'm pretty happy.
So I know that you fought your life, on your own. You were fighting for every single minute, right? Your mom was doing the same thing too for you. And I know that when people see you, right, what do they usually ask you? Are they comfortable asking any questions?
The biggest question, and for most people, is how did you lose your legs? And there's a simple explanation that they were deformed when I was young, and it was better for me if they amputated them. Some people understand that, other people go, well, what, couldn't you walk? And it's like, there was no way I was going to walk on those legs. Children, on the other hand, are more curious and can be just anxious to know, because they'll come up to you and they'll look at you for a few minutes and they'll go, what happened to your legs? And for little kids, it's easier just to say to them, I was born without them. And sometimes that happens. And they understand that and they go along their way. Older kids can be a little more curious and they'll go, well, I mean, really, what? They're not going to buy the just, I was born without them. And then you got to kind of explain to them, says, this happened and not having them is much better for me.
Yeah, and there's a quote from Dostoevsky who said this, that beauty will save the world. How would you interpret this, his statement and his quote?
It's got to be internal beauty that saves the world. Outward beauty, it's everything nice to look at, but what you have in here is what's going to push you forward in the world.
Like when I wake up and, when I come to the studio, I put, layers of makeup on it to look like this. I don't wake up like this. So, and people usually think, oh my gosh, she always, looks camera ready.
Right.
I usually tape when I am ready. I don't wake up ready. So I cover my own wrinkles, we cover our own things in here. And
for men, that's not quite as easy. I mean, we're told we look more distinguished as we get older. I look in the camera or in the mirror and I go, those are wrinkles. I'm not happy with those. But unlike women, men have fewer options. If you're going on camera for TV, they can trolley up with a whole bunch of stuff. But if you're out on the street, your wrinkles are part of you.
Yes, that's right. What was your biggest struggle in life after you got amputated, and how did you feel? How did it impact you and your family?
Well, for one thing, school was interesting. When we were children, we went to a school that catered only to children with disabilities. As we went into junior high or middle school and high school, we were integrated with able-bodied students, people without disabilities. And for a lot of us, that was a culture shock. So, and it's, trying to make friends with people that, I'm used to being around people who kind of look like me, and so it's easy to talk to them. But going into the world and going, you know, who are these people? You know, am I afraid to talk to them? And it just takes building that courage to build relationships. And that was the biggest struggle, is just socially as we grew up.
Can you please walk us through, Mr. Charlie, from the moment that you received the news? How old were you when the doctor or mom maybe told you on behalf of the doctor what's going to happen to you, to your body? So were you afraid? So walk us through what happened in your mind, in your body, and the heart.
Well, when the legs were amputated, I was 5 years old. So it really wasn't much of anything from, you know, everything's like way over my head. You know, they just tell me, you're going to go into surgery, you're going to have, you know, be there. During this ordeal, I spent 16 months in the hospital, all at one time. That's not seeing any family members except your parents, and they were only allowed on the weekends.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a challenge. It was a great hospital. It was Children's Hospital of Minnesota, and you know, they took very well care of us, but it's the being separated from your family in that length of time. You know, the nearest I got to seeing my siblings was through a window while they're in a courtyard.
And how did your siblings receive you? Were they, I don't want to say that, but were they making fun of you, like, you know, teasing you a little bit? Were they like more receptive to you, more sympathetic, or? Well,
my siblings were all minimum of 7 years older than I was. And so they got that I was special, that I needed, you know, to be careful around me. But as we grew older together, you know, we played together, we mucked around, we had fun. You know, my brother to this day will still run by and pick me up and run across the yard. It's like, I'm not your football, set me back down. But that's the way we were. And so yes, they understood that, you know, I was going to have issues, but they also understood that I was still their little brother.
Yes, I'm glad that, you know, they kind of like embraced that, the change,
yes,
and they took it upon that. So right now we have so many kids are struggling like physically. Yes. They're undergoing through the surgeries, and they don't know what to expect. Can you please talk to this 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid who is about to change his life because of the surgery that will be, probably could change their lives forever. Right. How would you want to encourage them?
I would say to them that, yeah, it's going to be tough, it's going to be painful, but the end results are going to be a healthier, better you that will be able to do more and be more independent. And you know, that's hard for a little kid to understand, but it's great for them to hear.
Absolutely. And I know when our kids struggle, our parents struggle even more. So I wanted to also take this moment to speak to the parent out there. How would you want to comfort them? Because when they see their kids going under the surgery and they come out half person, their life is also changing. So what would you want to tell them right now?
You just have to be patient and love that child twice as much as you did before, because they're going to need that. They're going to need your guidance to help them build their strength.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles, for being in our studio. We would love to have you again as repeat guest, because there's so much to your story that we haven't covered today, but we want everybody to connect with that. We want everybody to understand that the life is a gift, that we have to embrace it, we have to fight for it, and at some point we do have to appreciate our life. Right. You know, life is something that we will never gain back. The years, our moments, everyone has value, whether you're big, small, short, half person, you know, complete full person. We all are individual. We all are so uniquely made. And God loves us regardless whether we have legs, we don't have legs, whether we have blonde hair, we don't have any hair at all. So I just wanted to let you know to embrace and just enjoy life. When you wake up, say thank you for what you have. When you go to bed, appreciate what you just accomplished, what you went through. So I wanted to let you know that you're unique. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, with or without limbs. and God loves you so much. We'll see you next time. It was Ilona, your TV host.